Artist, inventor, engineer, and scientist. No human being has ever produced such a prolific body of work in such numerous and diverse fields of study that he is called the universal genius. His groundbreaking discoveries and inventions were centuries ahead of his time. Let us take a look at the brilliant mind of Leonardo da Vinci, tracing his life and studying his works that paved the way for the knowledge and technology we have today. Istanbul, Turkey. This historic city, straddling both Europe and Asia, was once called Constantinople. It was the seat of Roman glory and the center of Christianity along with Rome. But on Pentecost Sunday in 1453, in an event that would forever change world history, Constantinople was sacked and fell under the hands of the Ottoman Empire. For the Western world, it was the end of civilization itself. But the fall of this mighty empire was to be the beginning of a rebirth. To the west, an age of enlightenment was brewing in the city-states of Italy. The Renaissance marked the end of the Dark Ages. From a religion-centered worldview, humanism gained traction. It celebrated human achievement and opened new explorations in science and technology. Around this time, in a small rural town in Tuscany, one of the world's greatest minds was born.
This is the town of Vinci, where the polymath Leonardo da Vinci was born. Let's take a closer look at his life and the legacy that he left behind.
In the outskirts of Vinci is the village of Anciano. This house is considered his birthplace and where he spent his early childhood. Born out of wedlock to a wealthy legal notary, Piero da Vinci, and Caterina, a peasant woman, Leonardo's illegitimate status would later prove to be a hindrance to his educational prospects. Today, Vinci celebrates Leonardo as a hero. But what makes a genius? What was in Leonardo's hometown that helped develop his insatiable curiosity, his brilliant mind, and multiple talents? Given his social status, Leonardo was unable to obtain a formal education. Most of his skills are self-taught. But he was gifted with an inquisitive mind that he pondered the mysteries of the world with such intensity. Surrounded by ancient landscapes, nature became his teacher. He sketched plants, flowers and animals, and studied the movement of water. Researchers have recovered 13,000 pages of his sketches and writings detailing his unquenchable thirst for knowledge. He was also obsessed with the workings of nature's most magnificent invention, the human body. At the Museo Leonardiano in Vinci, we see 3D models of his anatomical sketches, and one can marvel at how accurately he portrayed them. He would dissect corpses, to closely study the skeletal and muscular structure. He was a pioneer in mapping the human body, giving an astonishingly accurate observation of how the human heart works 500 years earlier than MRI technology. Unfortunately, his observations were not published during his lifetime, as his notebooks were only discovered 250 years after his death. But his anatomical research aided him greatly in one of his most enduring legacies, his works of art. Here in Vinci, one can visit an exhibition that showcases all his masterpieces. His first big break was painting the baptism of Christ alongside his master. Reportedly, Leonardo painted so much better than his master that Verrocchio vowed never to paint again. Da Vinci approached art as a science, and science as art. His studies of nature, motion, shadow, and light allowed him to paint with such realism. Looking closely at the Mona Lisa, you will see a softly modeled face with no strong outlines. Da Vinci's sfumato technique is a subtle blending of edges that result in a realistic image. But not only was he able to capture realism, he also had a unique talent of conveying human emotion and human character in his work. For any artist, this is the highest ideal, to be able to draw images that mirror the soul. And no one came close to achieving this as Leonardo da Vinci. Up next, we continue to delve deeper into the mind of a genius, learning both his scientific methods and his groundbreaking inventions that changed the world.